They sent us some diagrams that were not included in the instructions, but explain everything quite well. Good afternoon, I'm Mark. Welcome back to the farm. All right, did the feed run this morning. That's how we started the day. It's probably about 4.5 hours total to get out and back. Stop for a little lunch in the middle there. But, I got it. So that's the important part. Good day for the drive. Beautiful weather. There it is. 20 bags of feed, each one 50 pounds. And I'll transload all of that into the stainless steel cans here in the shed. Keep the critters out. As long as I remember to keep the lid on. That's the key. You've seen me do this before, so I'm not going to watch it again. What you doing? I see you. Did you go up there to get some oranges? You did. I see you working to get them down. You just picked that orange. All right, good morning. So good day. We heard back from tech support at the company for the gate. And they sent us some diagrams that were not included in the instructions, but explain everything quite well. And so we're gonna get on and see if we can't get the gate wired up and get it operational. So the issue is, as we go to hook up the wires, that's where they clip in, but they got screw holes on the underside for tightening them in. But you can't do that. So we figured out you've got to actually disconnect the entire unit so that you can connect all the wires, then plug it back into the motherboard. So we got that going for us. All right, here's what we look to as we get going. So there's the screws, and then red, black, blue, green, yellow. And then when we're done, there's the pins on the back, and that'll plug right back in there to the motherboard. So that's the first motor. And then I'm gonna do the second motor, and then we'll be ready to put this back on the board. By the way, here's the wires coming from the motor. This is the roll of wire that I purchased. These are the wires that come directly from the other motor. They're actually what they call tin dipped off here. So it's actually copper wiring. It just looked like aluminum from the outside because they dip the ends. So we're good. It's copper on copper. All is good for the wiring. All right, that's right. So we got red, black, blue, green, yellow, red, black, blue, green, yellow. And then those ones on the end are for a lamp, which I'm not putting on. So this is ready to get plugged back into the motherboard, which means I'm going to pull some of these wires back out to just reduce the amount of stray wire that's up inside the box. Okay, we got this plugged back into the motherboard. I got this one removed. These are kind of in the way, but they would come out if I needed to, but I don't think I need to. So next step is actually going to be to hook up the battery power to the board, and that's in these two slots here, positive, negative. And there we are. We've got the power on. And so originally, if you'll remember, I thought that we'd have solar panels go in here, batteries go in here for recharging, and then a load would come off the solar charger, but it doesn't. The load actually will come directly from the batteries to the panel right here. And so the batteries are the source of the power for the power box. The charger is just for charging the batteries and keeping track of the voltage on those. So that's where we're at on that. So this is now all set up. These are all leveled and got their final connections done. And so I'm going to take a pause, review the instruction manual on the position of the gates and how the box should be set when we actually apply power to the system, and then we'll move on to the next section. All right, so these are all hooked up. We put in the switch here for a manual opening for right out here next to the gate, and ran those wires down and up inside, so they connected over here, so we had to unhook the whole thing and put it back in. We think this is the wire that is the receiver. So we're going to actually put a pinhole here on the side of this and try and run that wire outside the box to get, because I think being inside here is going to restrict that a little bit. So we're going to see what we can do about that. All right, now there's the box. We're on the other side here, and we've just wired the actuator to the wire that we have going down underground. We got it in a box, and we use little wire nuts, packed it in there. And now we're just going to put on a weatherproof cover here, and we'll be ready to apply some power. All right, box is done. We got a drip hang here, so water coming off the wire will just get to the bottom of the U and drip off. This is all secure. This is closed up. You see it's got a little liner there, an insulating liner. So we're good. All right, so we're back. We've got all this stuff hooked up here, and so we're going to do what Bob has referred to as the smoke test. So we're just going to turn it on and see what happens. So here's the power button underneath here.
Should we read something? Should something come on that display?
There should be. We should get the flashing dash signs on each one of those.
Okay.
So let's see what happens. Okay, flashing dashes. That sounds like a winner. Now we've got pages upon pages upon pages of things to program it. So we're going to program it for a dual gate, and that's where we're going to start. I'm just going to leave it open because right, it said the auto close was 60 seconds, right? I'm just going to wait and see if it closes on its own. Oh, there it goes, 60 seconds. Somebody, and I'm not sure who, but somebody picked loquats.
We picked a lot of loquats.
Those poor trees were dying under the weight of those.
Well, we didn't pick them all because they aren't all ripe. We only picked out the ones that are ripe. These look like little tiny not tangerines, peach. What are the little what's the little tiny ones?
Like
little
peaches?
Yeah, they look like little peaches when they're ripe.
And you're keeping out the supply of chocolate-covered raisins for the all the seeds for future crops, maybe.
Probably not.
Probably not.
If anyone wants them, you need to speak up.
Slowly but surely, see now that the gate's working, I'm putting up the cattle panels. One of these cattle panels, and the reason I wanted them up here is they're very rigid, right? So they're not going to be easy to push. You know, they don't want to go anywhere. But the downside of that is it's really tough to sort of mold them to the ground or to the environment. In this case, the post I wanted to use over here was this tree, but the ground really rises up. You know, which you can see it goes from here and rises up, and then it drops off again going to the other one. So what I did is I'm digging a little trench in front of it to try and make it so that the panel is level. The rub about that is with the way the roots come out, it's setting me a distance from the tree, so I can't nail or staple into that tree. So what I'm going to try and do is take a regular fence post, cut it to size to where it's really just resting on the ground here, and then set it in place. And ultimately I'd like to lag bolt it to the tree. I couldn't find any lags, and I'd like to get this done tonight. So there's two problems. One, I don't have lags, so I'm just going to use shorter screws just to hold it in place while I think about it. And the second part is I will not have painted it to match these other ones. I could just use the paint that's on my hands, but I don't think I will. So I'm going to give that a try and see how that works, and see if I can be happy with that. well, to give it something to bite into. It's not great camouflage, but it is close enough at the base and at the top that I can put probably like a 6 foot lag through that. Oh, 6 foot, 6 inch, maybe 8 inch lag through that, just to give it a little more grip on the tree and hold it in place. But for now, that'll work. I'll have to come back and paint it later. Well, it ended up crooked. That's what happens when you don't mount it before you just tack it in. But all of this side is up. This would keep anything from getting out. I'm thinking about cows, say a livestock guardian dog, and we have one of those. So that side's done. All these are done. The gate is now functioning. All these are done. I have one last section on the other side to do, and then I'll be ready to, close the gate, and that's the full perimeter is done. That's that. That time was better. Sweet. Well, there's the steers back over on this side of the property again. And they have been, as Joel Salatin says, moving, mobbing, and mowing. So they were just in this area until today. They cut that all down nice and short, and then before that they were over here where all the chickens are. So over here you have many a meadow muffin. But over there, after a day and a half, there are none. So tomorrow I'll leave the steers where they are. I'm gonna move chickens to this area and let them address all these issues. And then the next day, I'll move the steers to the next paddock I've already got set up over there, and then move the chickens in here. Assuming I do not find my pattern disrupted by an untimely bobcat, which, as we all know, has happened in the past. So that deal is completely out of hand. So that's what's been going on here. We're enjoying the nice weather, a little bit of rain here and there, but the grass is finally starting to grow in, nice and thick, at least coming in green. This area in the front here, which has previously just been thrashed by chickens a couple of times, look at all this. And loquats, this tree is not quite ready to pick. My bride got up there and she was checking them out. She's like, nope, a little more time. The other tree was ready. She picked all those, as you saw. But a little bit more time and then all these will be ready to go. Meanwhile, the young pullets are out here on grass, getting moved every couple days, and they're doing great. Gate's working, happy about that. And then the new batch of broilers in the brooder, I think I need to move them out of the brooder and onto pasture this week. So that's going to be one of my next big steps, is to get them on grass. So plenty going on here. Happy about it though. Happy about it. So yeah, I think that's about it from here. We'll talk to you guys later.